Getting lightning lanes frustrating? Is Genie Plus getting you down? Let's work you through the new MultiPass system here at Walt Disney World. Today is the very first day of the MultiPass system, which is the new Genie Plus or lightning lane for Walt Disney World. It actually is pretty easy, so let me work you through how booking goes directly at 7 a.m. Welcome to the first day of MultiPass Single Pass. Don't stress, I did this morning, it's not that bad. First up, they're gonna take you to a calendar. You select your date. I did July 24th. Then it's gonna open up all of your options for parks. In this case, I'm gonna select Hollywood Studios. You'll notice it is 6:59 here in the morning. We still have time, so here are the eligible rides. I was shooting for Slinky Dog, Tower of Terror, and Toy Story Mania as my Tier 1 and 2 Tier 2. And then we have to wait for the time. Time's gonna switch over to 7 o'clock, and then bam, we hit the continue. It's $26. Who do I wanna add as guest? Just me. And then I select for my Tier 1, Slinky Dog, so you're gonna pick one from that first group. And then you're gonna pick two from this next group, Tower of Terror and Toy Story Mania. They will give you automatic times. Here is something really important. You can only modify before your purchase to get better or earlier times. So I'm modifying here to get a better Toy Story Mania. I'm modifying my Twilight Zone to get a better time for Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror. And then it brings you to the checkout screen. So $27.69. You can use this to park hop and go anywhere you want. So now we're gonna check to make sure everything is okay. I look, all of my selections are there. There is a little button that you can press for modify, which it's 7:01. Modifications aren't turned on, so you see me trying to spam and do here, but later on I could. All right, now that you know how to book, we are starting at Hollywood Studios, so we're gonna head over there and we're gonna see how many Tier 1 rides we can get on, Tier 2s, how does park hopping be impacted. Let's see how we do. We have officially made it to Hollywood Studios. It is 9:13, which is nice because that means that things have kind of died down. The line isn't crazy long. It usually goes all the way out there if you're here super early for rope drop, but we don't really have to do that with MultiPass. So one question we keep getting is whether or not you can park hop. As long as you have a park hopping ticket or an annual pass that includes park hopping, the system will automatically know. There's no 2 tiers for park hopping now. We've officially made it 9:31. I'm like not rushing at all. I'm taking a very relaxed approach to this new system. Slinky Dog currently has a 50-minute wait. We're gonna use our lightning lane. Hi. Thank you, pardon me. Excuse me, sorry about that. Now, we're gonna scroll down and we're gonna try to see if we can get ourselves a runaway railway, which is another Tier 1. All right, there we go. So it has been added. And now we can modify times, which I don't know how you're gonna change times easily. I'm gonna have to go into modify Yisaways. It's not showing them. My Slinky should disappear, and it should show. Should show my runaway railway. Maybe it takes a second. I'm refreshing. It's not there. Awesome. The thing we have learned though is you can book another Tier 1 immediately as soon as you use your first lightning lane. So it's like all bets are off. It doesn't really matter after you book one. All right, that was my fault. I didn't click one extra screen. So now I have an 11:45 for runaway, which should show up after I refresh. There we go. Now I should be able to click modify and try to get an earlier time. So 11:45 was what they gave me. So now it's the, oh God. Click-clacking is weird, dude. Oh boy. Oh, this stinks. This part of the system stinks. Click-clacking is awful. Oh, it's awful. It's like 3 extra pages. Okay, so I think I figured this out. If you click modify time, well, okay, that isn't working. Let me go. It was working perfect, I swear, a second ago. So when you click change, click modify time, and then you click close. This is the new click clack, is close, modify time. close, modify time, because it is refreshing as we do this. I just haven't had any luck changing the time. And then eventually it times out and you have to reset. First ride done, we're gonna head into Toy Story Mania, and then we have a Tower of Terror, and then Runaway Railway. It's been a little bit troubling to try to refresh, but it's still not the worst. It could be way worse of a system. So now is the time. Now is the best time to figure out whether or not we can get another Lightning Lane. Just because I know this is available, let's attempt to do Star Tours. So I don't know what happened, but I was able to book a Star Tours, so that's good. So yeah, you could just, every time you use a Lightning Lane here on out, you can have 3 in the chamber and just keep booking more. That's pretty nifty. I thought you would have to clear all of your originals, but that's not true. Just keep booking. As soon as you use one, book one. As soon as you book one, you know, that's pretty cool. Here are the things that we've kind of learned initially. Number 1, you're gonna wanna use your Lightning Lane Tier 1 first, because then you can book other Tier 1. So you can't book a Tier 2 until you book a Tier 1. So we saw somebody who was in Toy Story Mania, and they weren't able to go on to another ride after they booked their Tier 2 before their Tier 1. Or not booked, but tapped in, you know what I mean? The other thing is you can modify by swiping. I'll show you what that looks like over here. So instead of like clicking in and refreshing, you actually are gonna pull down, and that's how you can modify as well. There is no park hopping option, because as long as you do this system, you are park hopping as long as you have a park hopping ticket or an annual pass. You can always carry 3 of the Lightning Lanes at a time, which I think is a massive, massive improvement over the old system. So I don't know. So far, I'm kind of digging it. There is an availability issue. Pirates was sold out, which it should never sell out until like 7 o'clock at night. Big Thunder's already sold out. That usually doesn't sell out until like 4 or 5 o'clock at Magic Kingdom. So that's kind of interesting, but it's a new system. But I think for most guests who are staying off property, booking 7 days in advance, you're getting a better option because you get to go on more attractions without having to stress about that 7 a.m. morning of booking everything. All you'd have to worry about is if you're doing a virtual queue. That's it. So our second Tier 1 is going to be, so if I go into the tip board and I scroll all the way down to my Mickey and Minnie's, if I wanted to modify this, I can click the little dots, click modify time, and then if I want to see different times than 2:10, you're just going to swipe to pull down. So we're not going to enter into the next page because see it changed to 2:15. We're just going to keep swiping to get different times versus going in, scrolling to the bottom, clicking modify time, close, modify time, close. That'll also do it, but eventually it will freak out on you and it'll tell you you've done this too much.
Welcome aboard, folks. We're ready for a relaxing ride around the park. Hey, Mickey and Mim. Of course, bear with me. What could possibly go wrong?
All right, so here's the deal. Right now, it's kind of a struggle bus for availability. It could be day 1 jitters, or it could be something much more sinister. They definitely, I think the tiers are a problem because everybody's booking Tier 1, Tier 2. The Tier 2s especially needs to open up There's too many things in tier 1. I think they're gonna need to push things into tier 2 just to make it a little bit more flexible, because there's not a lot of availability for a lot of the attractions that we're trying to go on. So it's, I don't know. I'm not crazy. I like the pre-booking planning part of this. That's aces. I think the modification process is really wonky, and the availability is not good at all. The availability is horrendous on this system. That's probably my biggest gripe. Modifying is a little bit wonky because they give you like a 5-minute window to hold a reservation. So that's a little weird. I don't know. I'm still really much on the fence because right now we've gone on 3 rides. We're gonna go on Tower. I have Soarin', and then my next Lightning Lane's at 8 p.m. To put things in perspective, it's 11 o'clock right now. I don't know how many things we're gonna be able to use. This is like more of a 3 to 5 max rather than get a ton. But I do like the fact that you can have 3 Lightning Lanes at the same time, but I think that's also a problem. They need to open up the tiers, maybe even reduce it. I don't know. I don't know. All right, we are walking right on down Sunset so we can head on over to Epcot for our next Lightning Lane, which will be Soarin'. Sky Rider in flight, afternoon delight. Sky Rider out tonight. As we leave Hollywood Studios, say goodbye to your adoring fans. Goodbye to the Oh. If you didn't know, Walt Disney World, that's twice the size of the city of Manhattan. I didn't know that.
Hold on to your straw hat.
I don't even have a hat!
Enter the heart of the Caribbean.
I'm allergic to straw. It gives me hay fever. We made it to the beautiful world of Epcot, or as the Skyliner said, to all that come to this place of things that you do in joyous, marvelous occasions and probably involves drinking. So we finally made it into Soarin', and right now I'm going to test the app to see if I can get another tier 1 and see what's available, because that's been my biggest struggle. There's not a lot of availability of like basically anything. All right, so let's see. Oh, hang on. Okay, what do we got? No Frozen available. Living with the Land at 3:30. I mean, there's... Does Magic Kingdom have any Tianas left? No Tianas. No Pirates. No Winnie the Pooh. No Jungle Cruise. No Haunted Mansion. No Buzz. No Big Thunder. I don't know what to do here. I'm at a loss. I gotta admit, I'm frankly really frustrated with this system because I don't feel like I'm getting the value. It's day 1, so I'm gonna chalk it up to that, but it's like a 2 out of 5 for me in terms of positivity score. Now I'm gonna bring in Jackie, aka Wish's mama, who is an absolute rock star with Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes. And she's gonna go over her first impressions with the first day of MultiPass.
As of right now, I don't like the modification on it. It's not as user-friendly as it was before. With modifying, you used to just be able to swipe down and it would be fine. I figured out a hack around it though, and that's what I have been messing with all day behind the scenes. So you know how you can go into and like customize your day and mark rides as priority? If you are trying to get a ride that has sold out, you need to do that because that's the only way that it populates it to the top. Because every time you pull down to refresh, the bottom part of the screen automatically defaults back to Magic Kingdom. And it is the most annoying feature that I've ever seen on a Disney app.
Yeah, because you're assuming then that everybody's at Magic Kingdom are going to make those choices, which is not true.
Right. Even if you're modifying a ride that's at Epcot, which is what I was doing, it automatically defaulted back to Magic Kingdom. So with that, if you mark, I marked Frozen as a priority ride under that My Day thing that you can go in and customize. And then from that way, it'll be at the top. And then if you're looking for a ride that is sold out, don't pull down to refresh, but just go between parks. So pick the park icons to refresh your page because that will give you 2 less steps for the refresh if you're looking for rides.
This is huge. Yeah, these are great tips.
That's what I figured out while I was watching you this morning. So that is super helpful. And then just if you're looking to change a time on your ride you already booked, it's just that pull down refresh. There's no other better way to do it that I have found yet.
Okay. That's crazy. On sold out rides, you have to literally park hop in the app to get it to work.
Yeah, it's really irritating. Other than that, I mean, I'm annoyed that they move things in the app unnecessarily. You can't get to the tip board now by clicking the box in the top right of that menu. Oh my God. I've been looking for the tip board half the day. I'm like, where's the tip board? You have to go
to my plans and then click tip board. It sucks. It's 3 extra clicks.
Yeah. So you hit that 3-line menu at the bottom and then don't go to the box. You have to go to the menu below where it says today's plan, and that will take you to the My Day tab, and then you can go over to the tip board.
Still have to click to the tip board, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Super annoying.
That's very frustrating.
Yeah, so that I don't love.
Jordan is saying if we use the plus in the middle, then you can click tip board.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't mess with that plus unless I'm doing mobile order. Honestly, I usually use the hamburger menu, but that could be. I haven't tried that.
Dang, hamburgers, mobile orders. This plan's making me hungry. There's no availability. I think it's day one jitters.
Yes, and I think so.
I think they're pocketing stuff so that they can make accommodations. I also think that the tiers are going to change, just like they changed for Genie Plus.
I don't know that the tiers can change. If they're guaranteeing for pre-selection that everybody can book up to one tier 1 ride, I don't think they can take anything off of tier 1 unless they change that.
Tier 1?
The wording says that you can book 1 tier 1 and 2 tier 2s. So the way that the wording is, I don't know that unless they change that and they just say you're guaranteed 3 rides, then I think they could change the tiers. But with the wording how it is now, I don't think they can pull anything off of tier 1 because they're going to run out of tier 1 rides and people are going to be mad.
Yeah, and they can't just make no tiers because there'll be lots of tiers if people don't get any of the good rides and they're stuck on garbage.
Yeah. The thing that I'm also interested in is the fact that they took off all of the character meet and greets. There are no characters at all. So Princess Fairy Tale Hall, the Mickey meet and greet at Animal Kingdom, the new Mickey meet and greet at Epcot, all of those are gone off of the pre-book. And they were gone off the pre-book and they're also gone off of the MultiPass as of today, at least.
Yeah, and those would eat into people getting on as well, those are booking shows.
Yeah.
Like Indiana Jones was sold out today, but that's useful because it's pocketing a lightning lane elsewhere than a ride.
Right. And maybe they're going to add them back on. I don't know. Like we said, this is day 1, but that is really frustrating to me that those characters are just gone off of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laura, there are no lightning lanes for meet and greets as of right now. It's not on the system.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see there's going to be changes.
Yeah.
We made it to Pop Century and I kind of have figured out a bunch of things. So here are some of the main questions that people were asking. I'm just going to read from notes. Multi-park versus multi-pay, meaning Do you have to pay for multi-parks? No. All of that stuff is already included in your multi-pass. Next one, as soon as you use a lightning lane, you can immediately book another one. And that is independent of the tiers. So you can keep booking multiple tier 1s, multiple tier 2s. You can always have 3 lightning lanes at a time, even if it's for another park. So if you use a lightning lane for Toy Story Mania, you can easily book a Soarin' for Epcot. When you're purchasing your lightning lanes, you can, when you're 7 days out if you're staying on property, or 3 days out if you're staying off property, you can do all of your individual bookings for your entire trip that same day, but they will be in individual transactions. So you'll book your Wednesday and pay for it, then you'll book your Thursday and pay for it even though you're 7 days out. So you can book your entire trip. How many lightning lanes do I think you can get at a time? I think at most, or like in a day, I think at most maybe 7 if you're good, and 2 of those are gonna be throwaways. I'm saying 2 to 3 tier 1s max, and maybe 4 to 5 tier 2s max. I know that math isn't perfect, but that'll give you an idea. Are there different prices per park? Yes. In today's example, Magic Kingdom was $27, Hollywood Studios was $26, Epcot was $19, and DAC was $17. And can you book multi-pass and single pass per day together? Yes, that transaction is actually all together. Now, let's talk about this whole system. Do I think this is a good thing for most guests? Yes. If you're coming here on a vacation, I think you're gonna benefit because you're guaranteed 1 tier 1 and 2 tier 2s, plus you're not gonna have to live and breathe on your phone. I also think that you only have to worry about your virtual queue day of, so you're not waking up at 7 a.m. in a cold sweat trying to like figure out what rides are you gonna get on for your entire family. So there's a lot of comfort in that and removing some anxiety. I like that you get to keep 3 lightning lanes at all times, and as soon as you use one, you can get another one. I think that's a good feature. Here's the problems. Availability. Once you start getting past 10 a.m., the availability goes to next to nothing, and almost all the tier 1s are gone. And remember, today is day 1, so availability probably was limited just so customer service could help rectify some issues that maybe guests were having. But there's another thing that happens here, and that's gonna be people have 3 pocketed lightning lanes, and as a result, there's gonna be less and less availability as the day goes on, meaning you're not gonna be able to do things later on in the day. And if you are somebody who likes to do a spur of the moment trip, you're a local who has an annual pass, more than likely you're only booking 3 days out. There's not gonna be a lot of availability. And so like today I was going against everybody, which is normal Genie Plus rules, and the availability is junk. If you think about pre-booking 7 days out, you'll have really nice availability for your 3 rides, but then day of, it's just gonna get worse and worse because 7 days out or 3 days out, not a lot of people are gonna be booking day of. Because if you do, not gonna be a lot of great options. How does this change in the future? I imagine a little bit more flexibility for the amount of lightning lanes that they open up for guests. And maybe they monkey around with the tiers, but I don't know how much flexibility they have with that. I don't like the modification in this system. It is hard to swipe up and change. And if you want to modify a lightning lane that is sold out, meaning it has no availability, to refresh, you actually have to change parks, which is very confusing. You have to like change your park to make it refresh. It's kind of annoying. There's quirks. There was quirks with the old system too. But if this was helpful as a guide, fantastic. Give us a like or a follow, and hang around because I'll help you the best I can with navigating this new system and all the changes that happen here at the Disney parks and of course the Central Florida parks. So if you don't want the fun to end and you want to learn a little bit more, check out this video right here. Boop. Whew. This is making my head hurt.